Alhamdulillah, with the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah has given us the opportunity to see again in this Mubarak Majlis, inshaAllah, the Majlis of remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Majlis where the name of Allah is mentioned and the angels are surrounding us. Alhamdulillah. Today, inshaAllah, tonight we will be talking about the boycott. The boycott, previously the Quraysh, the mushrikun of the Quraysh, they tortured the Muslims, the followers of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They're trying to boycott. And Abu Talib, he gathered the Banu Hashim and Banu Abdul Muttalib, gathered all of them so that they agree, they made this agreement to protect the life of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to protect his life. So if any Arab tribe try to harm him, we are united to protect his life, Prophet Muhammad. So the mushrikun Quraysh, the other tribes of Quraysh, they said, let's do something, let's boycott this Banu Hashim and Banu Abdul Muttalib. Boycott, we make an agreement as well that we cut ties with Banu Hashim and Banu Abdul Muttalib completely. We don't talk to them, we don't marry them, we don't sell or buy from them. We don't supply them with anything. So this is like sanctions, boycott like sanctions. And this is, it's happening now. And we see it in history. So the kuffar of Quraysh, the non-Muslim, the mushrikun of Quraysh, they gathered to have a meeting. And this in Wadi al-Muhassab is called the area. It's an area northeast of Mecca, a suburb. It's called Wadi al-Muhassab. They gathered there, and even in that area there's a Khayf, and a Masjidul Khayf is called. Masjidul Khayf. I think anyone went for Hajj, they might know this Masjid. Masjidul Khayf. Anyone know? It's around Mina, Masjidul Khayf. So if you perform Hajj, you'll definitely maybe pray there or maybe pass that mosque. You see that mosque. So Masjidul Khayf. So it's the name of an area. So they gathered there to plot this evil plan to boycott Banu Hashim and basically anyone who stands up to protect the life of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Anyone. So they want to boycott and alienate them from the rest. So these kuffar, they took an oath, of course, to unite, to do this, evil plan, and they wrote the covenant down. They wrote it down. They wrote it down, of course. Everything should be written, otherwise, some might forget. So they write it down, a treaty, an agreement, a covenant. So who wrote this? Of course, one of them, but the correct opinion is Baghid bin Amir bin Hashim. That's his name, Baghid. His name is Baghid bin Amir, the person who wrote the covenant to boycott Banu Hashim, Banu Abdul Muttalib, and those who are protecting the life of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this Baghid bin Amir bin Hashim. Okay, maybe we can have some questioning later on if we still remember these names. The names Baghid bin Amir bin Hashim. Yes, and the place where they made this agreement is Wadi al-Muhassab, Khayf Bani Kinana. So those who lived there were Banu Kinana, and the name of the place Khayf, Wadi al-Muhassab. Yeah, but Masjid Khayf, there's called Masjid Khayf. That's Masjid Mina, yes. I remember I went for Hajj 2010. Didn't pray there, but it was crowded. Saw the mosque, Masjid Khayf. So that's that area there. Northeast of from Mecca. What's the name again? Baghir bin Amir ibn Hashim. Those who are blessed with strong memory, mashallah, they're fortunate. Some of us, memorize quick, forget quick. Yeah, memorize quickly, but forget quickly. The best one is memorize quick and forget very long. Yeah, to forget it's long, but memorize very quick. But not everyone like that. Some even have, the worst one is memorize so long and forget quick. I know there's brothers who memorize in the morning, Saturday, or Sunday? Sunday. No, the worst one is, I think, memorize very slow but forget very quickly. All right, so Baghir bin Amir bin Hashim. So this person wrote this evil covenant, and the Prophet ﷺ made dua against him. So they say that later his hands were paralyzed. This Baghir bin Amir bin Hashim, paralyzed. Couldn't move it, the hand, because of the dua of the Prophet ﷺ. So they hang this treaty on the wall of the Kaaba. So this include, the Banu Hashim, whether they are Muslim, or non-Muslim, they all boycotted, because even they haven't believed in the message of Prophet Muhammad, but they took an oath to protect his life. This is our family member, and we are human beings. We should protect, and he's not doing anything wrong, so we protect him. So even those ones, they also being boycotted by the rest. So they have bigger, maybe more tribes, and only Banu Hashim, Banu Abdul Muttalib, these two, they boycott, and they say we don't marry them, we don't sell, and we try to, even anything coming from from outside of Mecca, they even buy everything, or they sell it with a higher price, and no Banu Hashim or Banu Abdul Muttalib can even purchase, But some still have good heart, Even though they're not being boycotted, but they try to bring some food at night. They try to bring some food. Those who are left with, the rahmah in their heart, the mercy. But we do see people in this world, they don't have mercy. At all, monster. We call them monsters, inshallah. So Abu Talib, he was basically leading, the Banu Hashim, Banu Abdul Muttalib. So he took them to a valley, in the outskirts of Mecca. That's why they call Shi'b Abi Talib. They took them there. So they basically is in the outskirts of Mecca, with a narrow passage. It's secluded the place from others. So when this happened, this boycott, anyone maybe know in which year of after the Prophet Muhammad became a prophet? It's around the seventh year, and he continued, they say, for 3 years. So up to the 10th year of his prophethood. So they stop everything basically, and even they have very less food, famine. They had to eat grass. They had to eat grass and eat. They could not buy anything because, the sellers, they tell them sell it with a high price or don't even sell at all to them. So one man, his name was Hakim bin Hizam. Hakim bin Hizam. He his auntie Khadija radiallahu anha, Khadija al-Kubra radiallahu anha, so he used to smuggling, some food, some wheat to his auntie, to his aunt Khadija. So he managed sometimes Abu Jahl, the enemy of Allah, he stopped Hakim bin Hizam. Sometimes he intercepted him so there's one person, Al-Bakhtari, he intervened. Every time Abu Jahl tried to stop him from, smuggling the food, some food, But then, with the help of Al-Bakhtari, he managed to bring some food to his auntie Khadija. So they stop even, die for hunger, they don't care. This is, and they have nothing to prove. These people, the kuffar mushrikeen, what do they have? They're forcing, of course, what they followed from their forefathers to other people. That's it they have. They don't find, are we on the truth? And they knowledge, or finding why is this true? Are we forcing this, and we even do this, make others hungry, make them suffer, or maybe kill them? Do we have other proof, or just beside our desires, our own thinking? The Sahaba, those who follow the Prophet, they have the Messenger showing them miracles, bringing them, something from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala which cannot be made by human beings. The Quran, until now, we don't find any book similar to the Quran, until now, in the Arabic literature, none. The poetry, it's different. Even the Arabs, they were amazed. They never heard something like it before. We see many stories. So we have something, a miracle. This is what we follow as a way of life. And we force it on others too. If we are governing, just like everyone forcing, their own ideologies. I think this, I believe this. They force. They kill for it. They be killed as well. We know. We don't have to mention any examples, but we do. But for us, what do we force upon ourselves? And if we are governing, we force the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is best, which is better, not my laws. I'm not forcing my own ideas on people, down people's throat, That's what the language they use, forcing your ideas down people's throat. I'm not forcing my idea. This is from the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Quran, and as shown by the messengers, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that's the teaching we follow. And that will lead us to success in this world. So everyone is suffering, basically. Everyone is coping with something, boycott and things, sanctions like Russians and, even the Chinese. But if we suffer for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's rewarding. And we do sacrifice for the sake of Allah, that's rewarding. In ayah, in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إِن تَكُونُوا تَأْلَمُونَ فَإِنَّهُمْ يَأْلَمُونَ كَمَا تَأْلَمُونَ. When the Sahaba, they were defeated in one of the battles, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, if you are suffering, pain, wounded, and some of you are killed, shaheed, فَإِنَّهُمْ يَأْلَمُونَ, Allah said, they also suffer. They also experience the same thing. Wounded, amputated, everything, all these, the same like you. But وَتَرْجُونَ مِنَ اللَّهِ مَا لَا يَرْجُونَ. But you get from Allah what they don't get. Or you hope from Allah something that they cannot hope from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's the difference, inshallah. So the lesson we learn from here, when we stick to the deen, many challenges, Alhamdulillah, we don't have something like this where we live here in Australia, but there are challenges. But there are challenges when we remember the sufferings of Sahaba, the suffering of other people, even in our time, we see many examples. Then we, inshallah, become strong. And the suffering is for who? For the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even the Prophet, when he went to Taif to give da'wah, he was stoned, bleeding. But what he said in his dua, anyone remember what he said? He said, if Allah, you are happy with me, that's it. If you're not angry with me, that's all. I'm happy, See? Just the pleasure of Allah, I'm bleeding, I'm suffering pain, but you're happy with me, all this will go away. So inshallah. So this is the lesson we learn from this, the sacrifices that Sahaba made for Islam and also the Prophet ﷺ. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, radiyallahu anhum wa radu an. Allah is pleased with them and they are pleased with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So even, during this time, Abu Talib, the uncle of the Prophet ﷺ, he was concerned for the Prophet's life because, they plot, they assassinate. They, try to find the opportunity to assassinate, to end the life of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. So even Abu Talib, when they were in this, valley, Shi'ab Abi Talib, he he always, tell the Prophet to sleep in his mattress, in his bed. Sleep in my bed, not his bed, So if anyone, trying to assassinate during the night time, so they will mistake, and he will tell others to sleep in the Prophet's bed, and he tell the Prophet Muhammad to sleep in his bed. And then he will, always keep changing, where the Prophet sleeps. He changed the position. So it's hard for anyone, if they have evil intention, to kill. So that's how, he was concerned for the life of the Prophet ﷺ. But even during this time, the Prophet ﷺ still, he went, to the Kaaba and prayed there. And even when he gets the opportunity to talk to someone, to call someone to Allah, he will keep doing it. And Allah is his protector, basically, inshallah. So after this incident, this covenant or this agreement, inshallah, you can give some information. How did it end? Any information we share, inshallah. Anything you know. Yes.
Prophet said that you should go open it and there should be only one word left.
Yes. Yes. So he ended, the insects, the ants or insects ate the parchment, they call it. It was written on some parchment, was eaten by the insects of the ants, and then only left what? The word Allah is left. All the agreements, the injustice, the evil, conditions, all wiped off. It's eaten by the insects. But how that became, it's gone already. How is that? How did it happen? Like if it's eaten, the kuffar, the Quraysh can say, oh, no, we can still make another one. How did it end it though? Anyone, inshallah? Because they can say we can do another one, write another one, let's write another one, hang it. But it ended by that. But what happened? Anyone? No? Okay, so what happened was, the Prophet ﷺ told Abu Talib, his uncle, this is from Revelation, because they didn't check, went and check the thing, is it in good condition? They didn't. So the Prophet said to Abu Talib that board or something, we say the board is destroyed, it's been eaten by insects, it's not there, it's not. So Abu Talib said to the Quraysh, look, Muhammad told me that the board has been eaten by ants. Let's make an agreement. If what he said is correct, we end this, this boycott. End. You agree or not? So Abu Jahl said, yeah, we can do that. We can agree. They thought, it won't be, it will be a lie. It's not going to happen. Because I think ants eating, I think it's also a miracle, because I don't think they put it in a, mashallah, safe, so it remains, But again, somehow it was eaten by insects. So they said, yeah, go check. But they said, you agree if it's, if it's like what the Prophet said, what Muhammad said, it's been eaten, nothing left, the writing is all gone, we should stop this boycott. You should let us free. Abu Talib said to the Quraysh, the leaders, the other leaders. They said, yeah, we can agree on that. So yeah. So that when they checked, yes, so that's how they were freed from this, boycott. And that means the Quraysh, they saw a miracle from the Prophet ﷺ. This miracle, the Jibreel, from Jibreel, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed to the Prophet ﷺ. But then again, of course, they say every time they see a sign, what do they say? Every time they see a sign, they say, magic. This is magic. This is a continuous magic. Yeah. Sahirun. They say it's a sihr. And they don't believe. But they don't check maybe if it's sihr. They should check how to differentiate between sihr and reality. See the followers of the magician in the time of Musa, when they were facing Musa, they threw their sticks and rope, and the Prophet Musa threw his stick. When they saw the stick of Musa turn into real snake, then they say, no, this can't be magic. It's not magic. See? That's because they have knowledge of magic. They know what magic is and what's the real stuff is. This is not magic. So they say, no, it can't be from a man, this one. This is a different power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Quran, mashallah, we have that miracle. That's why this book, we have to love it with all our heart, dedicate a lot of time studying it, from how to recite, from the meaning, and implement in our life. Because this is the Quran, everything. That's the center of everything, the Quran, the book of Allah. Hadith supporting that, yeah? But the center is the Quran. Without it, we don't know what truth is and how Allah wants us to lead our life. So this, the boycott ended. And it says, says over here, before that happened, one of person, his name is, there were many other good-hearted people. They gathered. They say, let's, one speaks to another one, say, we should end this. This is very evil. I can't take it anymore. And the other person said, we're only two. We're not going to make any change. We can't do anything. Only two people. Can we gather more? So they successfully gathered maybe 5, 6. And then they went to Abu Jahl and said, we this one, we actually didn't agree in making this, boycott. But, you forced us. We don't agree. So please, and they are related by blood still. These Banu Hashim related by blood. But again, so finally, with that, the story of the parchment was eaten by insects, and they agreed that if that happened, they will stop this. And it was a miracle they observed, they saw. But again, when they see, Allah mentioned in the Quran, وَإِن يَرَوْا آيَةً يُعْرِضُوا وَيَقُولُوا سِحْرٌ مُسْتَمِرٌ. When they see a sign from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they say this is sihr mustamir. Sihr means magic, continuous magic. And they did not believe. So, inshallah, I think we will stop here. So, yes. Tawaf. Mm-hmm.
Because in those days, when you do a speech in Tawaf, it is a very important announcement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But is that part of that, or
That's part of that. So before the insects ate, they did this. They one of the Quraysh, those who have good heart, they went and spoke. We should stop this. And others agree, and some said no, we shouldn't. And he mentioned clearly, like, I did not agree, with my full heart when this was made, this boycott. And then they were like answer, that Abu Jahl said, you liar, you did agree. No, we didn't agree. So the other will say, no, he spoke the truth. we were forced. We did not agree. So we want this to end. And they also he spoke about this our family trying to soften their hearts, but some not soft heart, but until this they said agreed, because they have to agree on something, and we agree, and then you have to keep your word after that, isn't it? You can't go, no, I'm changing. So yeah, so they said, if this is true, what the Prophet said, told us, you accept that we will, uh, cancel this boycott. We will, free the Banu Hashim, Banu Abdul. They said, let's go, look. And they saw it. Hey, it is correct. It's gone, except words of Allah is still there, has not been eaten. That's a miracle, yeah. So inshallah, next one is, they're still trying hard to how to stop the da'wah of the Prophet ﷺ with different, techniques, tactics, with different ways. But again, it all failed miserably. So yeah, we will continue next time, inshallah. So anything we can learn from this story? Inshallah. Sleeping, soft hearts. Yeah, humanity, see? Even we don't have the same faith, but we have to have that soft heart, that mercy for others. Mercy first. Mercy comes first, should be. Not the other way around. Sometimes we have what? Anger first. Hatred, no. We have mercy first. And what else? It's good. Yes. It has impact, yeah. If it does have impact, if a person is not strong, he will. It does have effect in history. We see even now. Yeah. Sanctions, Yeah, sanctions. You can't any restrictions on a person or on it, freeze their money, things like this, because it will force someone to to either quit. Now, the Sahaba are very strong. They don't quit till they eat grass. Even until they die, they don't quit. May Allah give us that strength of iman. We say, this is fault of Islam. We can't do this. Islam is the fault. No. We blame Islam sometimes. The sufferings we face, we blame on Islam itself. So, and anything, inshallah, we can learn.
I think the suffering of a Muslim is better because there's reward. I think two people could be suffering equally.
Mm-hmm.
But as Muslim, we have a bit more patience in our suffering. So we're getting rewarded for it.
Yeah, we're getting reward. That's why in the hadith the Prophet said a believer, his affairs are, ajab. It's amazing because when he is suffering, for example, something bad happened, in his life, it's good for him still because he's patient and he gets reward because he believed in the, the right God basically. Is the real God who is going to reward. If you believe in idols not going to reward you. You see, believe in the wrong God. That's why faith is very important. And it's not going to reward you. Like the Christians, they say, Allah protect us. They believe in Jesus. Jesus is going to reward them. They go to Jesus. Jesus said, "Who are you guys? Go away. Go away. I told you to worship one Allah. You took the wrong and made your own religion, basically." Yes. So, and if a mu'min is happy, as having, mashallah, Allah gave him good life, is also good. If he do shukr. Shukr means he increase, become a shakir. Shakir is, he thanks Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How does he thank Allah? Disobeying him? No. He becomes more obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's good. Opposite of the people of dunya, no, they have wealth, they become disobedient. They have fun. We live only once, so enjoy. Let's do anything. They say so. Inshallah, anything, any other thing, inshallah. Ameen. Yes, it will affect. Yes, it will affect. It has an effect. Yes. look at, the collective punishment, they call it. And they say, they label others with the T word. They say, and they give excuse, we're targeting someone, we're targeting this. Who knows, And they rely on their intelligence, but they make mistakes, big mistakes, fatal mistakes, They killed, recently, those who help cooking, the Australian, their intelligence, they say. The car exploded, missile, the car. When people have, may Allah, change the condition to a better one, the Palestinians. We can do only dua and, inshallah, help, donation, inshallah. So we'll continue next week, inshallah. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Sallallahu wa sallam ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.